curious and studious students of surgery. Myself, Dr. Mahesh Chaudhary. I am warm welcoming you in my surgery lecture series. This surgery lecture series contains entire surgery with anesthesia, with radiology, with orthopedic. So stay tuned with us. Let's start our surgery lecture series. Hello dear students, welcome in my surgery lecture number 35, that is the hemorrhoids, piles. We will learn in this lecture hemorrhoids, internal hemorrhoids and external hemorrhoids, secondary hemorrhoids, thrombose hemorrhoids, injection therapy in hemorrhoids, rubber band ligation in hemorrhoids, cryosurgery in hemorrhoids, hemorrhoidectomy, classical hemorrhoidectomy, closed hemorrhoidectomy, submucous hemorrhoidectomy, circular stapled hemorrhoidectomy and endostapling technique, which is the 21st era treatment for hemorrhoidectomy. Now start with me. Hemorrhoids. These are dilated veins within the anal canal in the subepithelial region formed by the radicals of the superior, middle and inferior rectal veins. Hemorrhoids are clearly divided into two categories, internal and external. Hemorrhoids, that is the internal hemorrhoids, means it is within the anal canal and internal to the anal orifice. It is covered with mucous membrane and it is bright red and purple in color. It usually commences at the anorectal ring and end at the dentate line. Here is a good image showing the different grades of the piles. First grade, second grade, third grade and complete procedentia, complete prolapse of the piles, first degree piles, second degree piles, external piles. A good picture is here. This is also good picture of the external piles. These are the types of the internal piles or hemorrhoids showing the grade first, second, third and fourth. Now the external hemorrhoids is situated outside the anal orifice and is covered by the skin. The two varieties may coexist and the condition is called the interno-external hemorrhoids. These are two peculiar conditions which are associated with external hemorrhoids. That is, the first is the dilatation of the veins at the anal verge is sometimes seen in the persons of sedentary life, particularly during the straining. And second is the perianal hematoma or thrombose external hemorrhoids. A small clot in the perianal subcutaneous tissues can be seen superficial to the corrugator cutis animuscles. This condition is due to the back pressure on the anal venule consequent upon straining at stool, coughing and lifting heavy weights. Painful, tense and tender swelling, if untreated, resolves by itself or may separate or may fibrose or may burst, rise to bleeding. Treatment: to incise the hemorrhoids under local anesthesia or under spinal anesthesia. Here is a picture is an external hemorrhoids with overlying ulceration, and this is the second image showing this occlude the thrombose external hemorrhoids has been excised via elliptical incision. Now the etiology and of internal hemorrhoids: first hereditary, second is anatomical, which contribute consequences of the adoption of the erect posture by mankind, absence of walls in the superior hemorrhoidal veins, occlusion of the veins and congestion during defecation. Radicals of superior rectal veins lies unsupported in base submucous connective tissue of the rectum. Exacting causes straining to expel constipated stools caused by dilatation of the venous plexus. And the next etiological factor are the physiological cause: a corpus cavernosum with direct arteriovenous communication termed corpus cavernosum rectum. Hyperplasia of the corpus cavernosum rectum may result from failure of the mechanism controlling the anteriovenous shunts, producing superior hemorrhoidal vein, varicosity and hemorrhoids develops. And the next etiological factor are the diet, which is very important. Cause: roughage. Western diet may excite hemorrhoidal formation. Nowadays, people are preferring the junk foods, fast food, bakery products, which are most prone and most important causative factor for the etiology of the internal and external hemorrhoids too. Now the secondary hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids may be secondary to a few conditions which must be excluded before one treats a case of the hemorrhoids. And these are carcinoma of the rectum, compresses on the superior rectal veins, pregnancy, compresses superior rectal veins, chronic constipation. Cause should be excluded, otherwise will recur. Difficulty in micturition, stricture of the urethra or enlarged prostate will cause increased intra-abdominal pressure. Portal hypertension has hardly ever caused hemorrhoids, but it should be remember and think about that. Pathology: through a proctoscope, the internal hemorrhoids as well visualized and can be divided into three parts: the pedicle, the body of the internal hemorrhoids and the associated external hemorrhoids. Here is a good picture showing the 3, 7 and 11 o'clock position. There are at the 3 o'clock position left lateral rectal vein, At the 7 o'clock position, right posterior rectal vein, and at the 11 o'clock position, there is a right anterior rectal vein. Here is a typical picture of the external hemorrhoids. Now the clinical features of the hemorrhoids are: principal and earliest symptom is bleeding. Bleeding, bright red, painless and occurs along with defecation. Patient complains that it is splashes in the pan as the stool comes out. Prolapse, thickened mucous membranes slide downwards. These mucosal hemorrhoids along with the prolonged dilatation of the internal hemorrhoids may also cause third degree and prolapse hemorrhoids. There are 4 degrees of the hemorrhoids. First degree, hemorrhoid does not come out from the anus. Second degree, come out only during defecation and reduce spontaneously after the defecation automatically. Third degree, comes out only during defecation and do not return by themselves but need to be replaced manually, and then they stay reduced and goes internally and stay there. And the fourth degree, permanently prolapse, not even return themselves after manually efforts. Now the third clinical feature is the pain. Is not characteristic of hemorrhoids unless there is a thrombosis. Fourth clinical feature is the mucus discharge, a particular symptoms of prolapse. Hemorrhoids which soften and excoriates the skin at the anus due to engorged mucous membrane. Pruritus ani will be caused by such mucus discharge. Fifth clinical feature, digital examination cannot feel an uncomplicated internal piles unless it is thrombosed. Proctoscopy, the proctoscope is introduced as far as it does. Don't be forcefully inserted. The obturator is then removed, and with an illuminator, the inside of the anal canal is visualized. The proctoscope is now withdrawn slowly, and the internal hemorrhoids will be seen bulging into the proctoscope in the lumen of the proctoscope. Now the complication, 2 main complications are bleeding and thrombosis of the hemorrhoids. Bleeding for long time will become anemia, and the second is the thrombosis, an acute swelling at the anal verge which is extremely painful. Thrombosis of the internal hemorrhoids is comparatively rare. Hemorrhoids become dark purple or black and feel solid. The anal margin becomes edematous and there is a severe anal pain. Strangulation, when the internal hemorrhoids prolapses and becomes gripped by the external sphincters. Further congestion occurs as the venous return becomes impeded and the strangulation occurs. Here is a good picture of the thrombosis of the hemorrhoids, thrombopiles. And the fourth complication is the gangrene. Only occurs when the arterial supply of the hemorrhoids is somehow or other constricted. Slipping occurs superficially. Massive gangrene may be initiated, spreading anaerobic infection and portal pyemia. Next complication of the hemorrhoids is the fibrosis. Usually follow thrombosis of the internal hemorrhoids. Fibrosis also following transient strangulation. Fibrous piles is sessile. Next complication of the hemorrhoids are suppuration, is very rare and only occurs in infection of thrombosed hemorrhoids. Next complication is the pilophlebitis of portal vein. Portal pyemia usually follows infection and suppuration of the hemorrhoids, causes portal pyemia and liver abscesses. Now the treatment. Before treatment of the hemorrhoids, surgeon must exclude any serious diseases in the rectum or colon. Therefore, any hemorrhoids treatment must be preceded by sigmoidoscopy and barium anemia. Occult blood test of the stool is also necessary. Treatment of the hemorrhoids should start with bowel regulation, which has a prophylactic effects. Bowel regulation can be done by the advising high residue diet and mild laxatives. Definitive treatment, the injection therapy. Sclerosing injection is the method of the treatment of small vascular hemorrhoids. That is also called the sclerotherapy. Sclerosing agents 5-phenol in ailments or arachids oil with 1/4 mg of menthol to make the 30 ml solution, Albright solution, that is also called Albright solution, injected into the submucous around the pedicles of the hemorrhoids with 2 objects in the view. First, to produce a chemical thrombosis in the internal hemorrhoids plexus, and secondly, to produce a fibrous reaction in the submucous layer which will fix the loose redundant mucous membrane to avoid the prolapse. Disadvantages of this injection therapy in the hemorrhoids are contraindicated in prolapse piles, in arterial piles and in presence of infection. Second disadvantages of this injection therapy is the faulty technique may lead to sloughing and which is dangerous. This is the image of the injection therapy in the hemorrhoids. Next treatment is the rubber band ligation. Rubber banding is the ideal method of treating large first degree and second degree internal hemorrhoids in absence of tags or external hemorrhoids components. Each hemorrhoid is visualized through a proctoscope. The upper part of the mucocutaneous line is grasped by an instrument and a small elastic band slipped over it. A tissue distal to the elastic band undergoes necrosis and excessive mucosa in the anal canal is removed. Advantages of this rubber band ligation method is whole operation can be done without assistant and the band can be placed over larger piles. Care must be taken to insert the band so that it occludes the base of the hemorrhoids at least 1 cm above the dented line. Should be dented line be included in the lighting band, considerable pain will result. Two bands are simultaneously inserted over each hemorrhoids as this reduces the risk of the secondary hemorrhage. The ligated hemorrhoids will necrose in 24 to 48 hours and slough off in about 7 days. 3 large hemorrhoids should not be banded at a time. Test subsequent ulceration covers a large area resulting in stenosis. This is the technique of the rubber band ligation. Image of rubber band ligation on your screen you are watching. There is the internal hemorrhoids. And the ligator, the rubber bands loaded on this ligator, and in the lumen of the ligator the internal piles is taken in and the rubber band is loaded over the internal piles by the gun. Now the cryosurgery in the treatment of the hemorrhoids, both elastic band ligation and cryosurgery may welcome to occupy a mid position between injection therapy and surgical excision. The new form of the cryosurgery involves the freezing the tissue of the hemorrhoids for a sufficient time to cause necrosis. Cryosurgery probe using liquid nitrogen at the temperature of the minus 160 degrees centigrade is used at the pedicle of the hemorrhoids for 3 minutes each. An ice ball forms as a visible white area which will eventually slough. Disadvantages of this cryosurgery in the hemorrhoids are the profuse watery discharge after this procedure. Here is the image of the cryosurgery. You can see maximal anal dilatation, that is the Lord's procedure. Tightness of the internal sphincters has been made responsible for many symptoms of hemorrhoids. Maximal anal dilatation was introduced for attempting to disrupt the fight bands. The whole of the anal canal and the lower rectum are slowly and uniformly dilated with the fingers until the 3 fingers of the both hands are inserted. Tight bands, which Lord called pecten, are broken out and the irregularities in the anal canal are ironed out. The pecten bands will be felt to roll under the fingers. Once the band have been felt, they must be stretched until they give away. This is the Lord methods of anal dilatation. Now the hemorrhoidectomy. For large third degree hemorrhoids, particularly with associated tags and an external hemorrhoidal plexus, hemorrhoidectomy is the treatment of choice and is the only method to give the lasting relief. First is the ligature and excision method. This is the most widely used operation nowadays. After anesthetize, the patient is kept in the lithotomy position. Hemorrhoids picked up individually with artery forceps. V-shaped incision out is made on the skin adjacent of the primary piles so that the base of the V is directed towards the primary piles and the apex away from the center of the anus. Here is a good picture of the hemorrhoids. The cut should not extend beyond the mucocutaneous junction. Then hemorrhoids are now further dissected upwards so that they are now fixed by the mucosal suspensory ligaments. Now this newly formed pedicle transfixed with a stout ligature, that is the silk or catgut, then distal to the ligatures are excised. It will seem that between each hemorrhoidal wound, a bridge of the anal mucosa remains in continuity with the perianal skin. These mucous membranes can be sutured to prevent the post-operative stenosis of the anus. A flat moistened dressing is applied to the anus and examine the patient on post-operative 7 days for spasm or the narrowing of the anal canal by digitally. Use of anal dilatal is recommended for 2 to 3 weeks if there is a chances of narrowing of the anal canal or the anal canal stenosis. Now the closed hemorrhoidectomy. The internal and the external components of the hemorrhoids are excised and the wound is closed completely from the high ligation of the pedicle to the anal margin skin with a continuous catgut suture. Considerable marked stenosis of the anus after post-operatively. Now the next method is the submucous hemorrhoidectomy, that is the PARCS. The submucous plane is infiltrated with saline and adrenaline which controls the bleeding and helps dissection. A vertical incision is made through the mucosa over the hemorrhoids from the top of the anal canal to the anal margins where the canis skin tags or only skin tag or external hemorrhoidal component is removed. The mucosal flaps are lifted on both sides so that the hemorrhoids is completely exposed, then dissected away from the underlying internal sphincter muscle. The pedicle is transfixed, ligated and excised. The mucosal flaps are pulled back in place and sutured with interrupted catgut sutures. A moistened with the weakened antibiotic gauze roll should kept in anal canal. Now the next procedure in the treatment of hemorrhoidectomy, that is the circular stapled hemorrhoidectomy. The anal verge is held at 3 points where the anoderm is slightly everted. Keeping this as a counter traction, the circular anal dilator CAD33 is introduced in such a way that the prolapsed anoderm gets reduced. The dilator is then fixed to the skin by stay suture at 3 to 4 places. Now the purse string anoscope is introduced through the dilator. A purse string suture using 2-0 proline about 5 cm above the dentate line is then applied by rotating the anoscope around the entire anal circumference. The hemorrhoidal circular stapler SCS33 is now inserted into the dilator. The head is passed beyond the purse string and then the purse string stitch is tightened and the end of the purse string sutured are pulled out through the lateral holes of the stapler. The entire casing of the stapler is then introduced into the anal canal. A slight traction is given on the purse string suture to draw the prolapse membrane into the casing. Dear student, this is the PPH for the single use. The circular stapler for the hemorrhoidectomy, this is for the single use. Here is the accessory is also shown in this image. The proctoscope, single use proctoscope, the obturator. This is the technique of the circular stapled hemorrhoidectomy is seen in your picture. Now continue with this procedure. The instrument is now tightened and fixed to the staple. After this, the stapler is held close for about 30 seconds to act as a tamponade. After this, the stapler is open, withdrawn and the staple line is examined for hemostasis. Usually there is no incidence of post-operative bleeding or incontinence. These circular stapling devices act by exciting a circumferential column of mucosa and submucosa above the dentate line to interrupt the internal branches of the hemorrhoidal artery, thus the reducing flow to the subepithelial space and mucous prolapse. Now the next technique is the endostapling technique. A stapling gun is being used. A strip of the mucosa and submucosa just above the dentate line is excised circumferentially. The vein leading to the hemorrhoids are incorporated in this excision. The gun is now activated, which repairs the cut mucosa and submucosa by the stapling the edges together. Choice of the treatment: in the first degree hemorrhoids, sclerosing injection and elastic band ligation and cryosurgery is to be done. In the second degree of the hemorrhoids, ligature and excision, closed hemorrhoidectomy should be performed. In the third degree, hemorrhoidectomy of the pars submucous hemorrhoidectomy should be performed. These are the choice of treatment according to the degrees of the hemorrhoids. Here is clearly elaborated. Hemorrhoids with prolapse, circular staple hemorrhoidectomy. Here is a stepwise picture showing that is the stapled hemorrhoidectomy. The circular dilator is inserted first and then the stapler and its cartridge. The purse string is there and the circle line is there shown on this image. This is the another picture of the circular stapling. Single use stapler is using there. There is a purse string is taken, slightly pulled out and then tighten the stapler. This image showing the cut ring of the anal canal, mucosa and submucosa. This is the injection therapy. In this way, we cover all the points regarding the hemorrhoids. Dear students, to clear the concepts, you can watch the rubber band ligation of the internal hemorrhoids, hemorrhoidectomy and endostapling videos on the YouTube to clear your concepts. Here is the end of our surgery lecture number 35, that is the hemorrhoids. Thank you.